Now the heat's been turned up on Donald Trump and his immigration plan. Trump saying he would use a deportation force to send some 11 million illegal immigrants back home. During the Fox Business debate Tuesday night, Trump said that President Eisenhower did the same thing back in the 50s and everyone liked him. But some historians call that a dark moment in our nation's past. Bill O'Reilly asking Trump about this very issue last night.
Believe me when I tell you, Mr. Trump, that was brutal what they did to those people to kick them back. I mean, the stuff they did was really brutal. It could never happen today.
I've heard it both ways. I've heard good reports. I've heard bad reports. We would do it in a very humane way.
So where is this going? Stephen Haynes, senior writer, Weekly Standard, Fox News contributor. Steve, good morning to you.
Morning, Bill.
A lot of people talking about this now. Where is it headed?
Well, you know, Donald Trump seemed to dig in. I mean, he made the proposal during the debate. He re-upped basically with Bill O'Reilly last night. Seems to be sticking to it. You know, I think it has potential ramifications for his candidacy, certainly, but also longer-term implications for the Republican Party. Remember, this is a party that, after the 2012 elections, went to great lengths to try to look like it wasn't alienating, targeting Hispanics, to adopt a position, to adopt a policy proposal that goes back to the 1950s that was called Operation Wetback, at the very least sends a questionable message from Republicans.
You're saying even if Trump is not the nominee, this hurts Republicans?
Well, I think it could. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how the other candidates handle this and to see if they push back on both the actual name of it. I mean, Trump didn't use the name in the debate, but everybody knows what it was, this Operation Wetback, which is a slur, and if they push back on the policy. Look, I think, you know, you have a wide variety of views in the Republican Party on immigration generally. I think there's some consensus on the need to deport actual criminals. But what Trump is talking about is altogether different. I mean, he's really talking about deporting millions and millions of people. He says he'll put together a deportation force that will, of course, do this in a humane way. But he's still talking about a plan that would, you know, require huge investments from the U.S. government, and I think most people believe would be simply unrealistic.
Yeah, one other point on this. Is anyone taking his side? Taking his position, supporting it?
Well, I don't think you've seen anybody fully embrace him, but I think we saw one of the most interesting developments inside this outsider group that's been doing so well in the Republican primary to this point. And we saw that yesterday when Ben Carson came out and said, in effect, he would give illegal immigrants 6 months to register. They would then potentially be eligible for some sort of guest worker status and could then apply longer term for citizenship if they got in line with everybody else. So there's a split in this outsider group. You've seen Donald Trump take a harder line on illegal immigration, certainly with talking about deporting millions of people who are here. And you're seeing Ben Carson take a bit of a different tack. Now, it'll be interesting to see whether that affects him.
And you're right, he did double down. He repeated it twice yesterday on two different networks, including ours.